Zidane Danny, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Electro Ninja's Lab and the latest episode of Nerd Chat. I am here with both of my fellow hosts, so why don't you two introduce yourselves?
And I'm Captain Jack, also known as Frank the Dopamine Dog. That's about it.
Joker?
Joker, you're back. Yep, back here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Unfortunately, Joker is stuck in the car right now, so he's a little bit quiet, but we'll deal with that. Um, but anyways, guys, like I said, welcome back to Nerd Chat. So, those of you who aren't fully aware, this episode is less to do with any specific nerdy thing, and instead it is more accurately focusing on what exactly is Nerd Chat. So, yeah. Basically, the three of us are huge nerds who have known each other since high school, and we're all dorks. So we decided that we were going to do a crazy podcast about being nerdy.
Yeah. Throwback to the nerdy birdies.
Yep. Which, if for those of you who are unaware, that was a shirt that is also one of the group of characters in my main book, or my first book, Sting's Adventures 1, Rise of the Descendants, but we actually were a real group of people back in the day. Oh. So
yeah, it was a while ago.
It was a while ago. So now I'm curious, can you guys figure out what each of the different fonts are for the different letters of Nerd Chat?
You told me at one point or another.
I think I did, but I'm curious to know if you guys still remember what they are.
The E is Aragon, and the R is Star Wars.
Yep.
Then you have the A as My Hero Academia, the H as King. I know there's a Dr. Stone, and D is Dr. Stone. Let me think.
For those of you who didn't hear him, the H is Kingdom Hearts. He did say it correctly, but unfortunately, I don't think that came through. Did you say what the N was, the C was, or the T?
He said the D.
Yeah, I know that.
I did the D, the A, and the H.
Okay. So, yeah. I know that the other ones are a little less well known, considering the fact that the N comes from Promise Neverland, and it's not even the actual one that you see in the show, unfortunately. But it is one of the many logos that is there for Promise Neverland. The T is coming from Blue Exorcist, which is honestly one of my favorite frickin' animes. And, of course, the C comes from the Dark Cloud series, which I'm still upset that there's still no third game.
Of course you are.
I mean, what did you expect from me?
That.
Oh
exactly.
My gosh. So, yeah. So, I think I will actually link Frank's channel in the description. So why don't you tell them a little bit about what you've done in the past and if you plan to do anything in the future?
Yeah, so in the past, Frank the Dopamine Dog, who was a companion of mine during high school, during middle and high school, I made videos of that. He's a stuffed dog, pretty small, stuffed chow. And I made videos of him in his office, and he would talk about different things. I don't remember much of our videos. I know that we went on adventures and different things like that. I'm hoping in the future to do sort of a storytelling type of thing. One of the things is that has developed in the past 6 or so years is that I am a teacher now. And so I teach kids cool stuff. And the hope is that I can teach you cool stuff. So by doing that, I plan to teach in storytelling, Bible stories and historical stories, because sometimes we try to make them so boring and so dry, and that's why kids hate history. But in reality, history is just a big story, and it's actually quite interesting if you just take enough time to actually tell it like a story instead of dumbing it down or drying it out and just trying to shove it down kids' throats. So that's what I hope to do in the future, and as much as I can as a teacher.
Yep. And some of these will be appearing on my channel to basically help out and send you guys more and more over to Frank the Dopamine Dog as the channel. So look forward to that. So why don't we? So my fans obviously know a lot of the things that I'm nerdy about, but they don't really know what you guys are nerdy about. So how about we go through a little bit of a list? Don't necessarily go overboard with everything, but give them a few good examples of what are some of your biggest passions.
Ben or me first?
Let's have Joker. Are you able to go first?
Yeah, I can go first if you want me to.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, well, some of the things I really enjoy is comic books and manga, especially superhero ones that relate to superheroes. So I'm a big fan of the Marvel comics as well as a lot of the DC comics and superheroes. And of course, in the previous video, we talked about My Hero Academia, which I am really enjoying.
And I keep reminding him that he needs to get caught up.
Yes, time and time again. But a big fan of Star Wars, and Electra Ninja has actually gotten me into a lot of the animes. So I watched a lot of animes, My Hero being one of them, Dr. Stone, and many, many others.
Oh. All right. You think that's a good amount?
Yeah, I think that's good.
All right. So, Captain Jack, why don't you tell them a little bit more about what are some of your fandoms?
For sure. I definitely am the Disney master of the group. I can name and quote and rate all 59 Disney movies that exist, all 23, 24 Pixar movies. I'm a tad bit obsessed with them. My bed sheets are Toy Story, so if that gives you any sort of idea of how obsessed I am. I worked at a pizza delivery place this summer just so I could relatively understand and wear my Pizza Planet attire. So, a little obsessed. I also really love the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I am a Captain America fan from the very beginning. Always Captain America. Captain Marvel, also one of my first loves. And actually, interestingly enough, one of my first superhero loves was not, in fact, Marvel. It was DC, and it was Aquaman. He was my first comic that I ever read as a kid. And I sort of just fell in love with him because he adopted a misfit kid from Atlantis, which has ended up being Aqualad. And it just made me very happy. Those are very cool superheroes. I also love Star Wars. Love Star Wars. I recently started watching the Star Wars Resistance show on Disney Plus, which is fantastic. And I fell in love with Niku, of course, because he is a ridiculous character. And everyone gotta love them some Kazuto Xiono in their life. But yeah, there's that. And then I'm the resident Star Trek fan as well.
I mean, considering the fact that my name actually comes from Star Trek and you keep forgetting it.
That's fair. That's fair.
But you
That's
are the number one Doctor Who fan in our group as well.
Yes, that's true. I am also the resident Doctor Who. That's also pretty fair. I also have a pretty good handle on most literature. That's kind of my other thing. I understand a lot of classic literature, Narnia, book fandoms. That's also my area of expertise as well, is classics. things like that. So,
Yep.
yeah, that's me.
Yep. So I will also mention this. All three of us do play a lot of D&D as well, or at least we used to.
Oh yeah, no, I still do regularly,
Oh yeah.
and Magic.
Yep, that is
Magic,
also true. We also
definitely.
play a lot of freaking Magic. We need to do a game again at some point.
I agree.
What
I just got
really
my
funny
Commander deck
is-
up and running again.
Nice.
Which is really funny because when I first met Electro Ninja here, he didn't even play Magic until our last year in high school.
I thought it was in sophomore year that I started playing Magic.
It was definitely when I knew. It was after sophomore year.
Okay.
It was junior or senior.
Okay, so it was after we broke up. Okay.
Sure was.
Oh my gosh. So yeah.
No, you only played Pokemon and you said your parents wouldn't let you play Magic.
Okay, that's fair. But at the time, I wasn't. I was a bit. I thought they were a lot more strict than they actually were. I mean, funny story. Back when the Seeker came out, I thought that they would not want me to watch that. So
Your parents seemed very strict. They're not.
they are not at all. Like, of the three of us, I think the strictest is definitely the Jokers.
Yeah, secondarily mine.
Oh my gosh. Ugh. But yes, we all love Pokemon as well, which should we go into that whole conversation?
Yeah, we can do that.
Oh boy. So I know that my fans aren't completely aware of this, but I have played every single generation except for the third generation. And I
And
do
what-
mean that.
What games are the third generation
Hoenn.
again? Oh, okay. Actually, that's Ruby, so that's the one I've played.
Yeah.
That was my first.
Yeah. So I technically started with Heart Gold, Soul Silver, as well as Diamond and Pearl, which is Gen
Oh.
4. However, I believe that I did play a little bit of both Yellow and Gold beforehand because the fact that I have a Game Boy Color and I used to play the crap out of those.
The first video game I ever finished was Pokemon Ruby, the OG on Game Boy Advance. It was
Sounds fun.
amazing. I found it in the grass at my church when I was growing up, and it didn't have a label on it. We didn't know what it was, and then I put it in my Game Boy, and I was like, "This is cool," and so I played it, and that's the story of how I got into Pokemon.
Oh, yeah. I think one of the big things though is that I grew up on the Pokemon anime, and I didn't start playing until I was a little bit older, I think. But
My parents were so against Pokemon until I found this game in the grass that it was not a thing.
oh yeah, I get that a little bit because I happened to have a friend growing up that his parents were like, "No, you can't play Pokemon. It's about magic, this, that, and the other thing." And it was just
Well,
like,
my parents thought they were literally demons, and I was like,
yeah, yeah, something similar to that. And I was just like, "What?" No, they're they are pocket monsters
Pocket
technically,
monsters.
but they're
"Pocket
more
monster."
like animals to a certain degree.
They are.
Just regular animals.
Well, if you think about it,
but with elemental powers.
they are the regular animals of the Pokemon world.
Yep, that is true. Which is funny because there are actually real animals that show up in the first freaking anime.
That's true.
Like, Frel. There's like
It's
the
kind of like-
mongoose somewhere in there, and then there's like a whole bunch of times where you see actual bugs.
Well, then it's kind of like an Avatar when they're like, a bear. You mean a platypus bear? No, just a bear. A mongoose. You mean a sangoose? No, mongoose. What?
But yeah, like I said, I started with Gen 4, skipped over Gen 5, and went straight into Gen 6. I eventually did go back to Gen 5. Still don't like it, but...
Which one is Gen 5?
Unova, the one that everyone hates.
Yes. I actually didn't mind it.
Yeah, I know that there are people who don't mind it, but if you were to give if you were to give every single Pokemon fan every single generation and ask them which one is the one that you hate the most, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that most fans would probably say either Unova or maybe Alola.
See, I have a special place in my heart for Alola, but that's just me.
Yeah. But yeah, I know that there are people who do absolutely love the Unova region, and there are people who love the Alola region, but I'm pretty sure that those two are the top most hated ones
That
for
makes sense.
a multitude of reasons.
That does make sense, I guess.
And you guys know why I don't like Alola, but we're not going to get into that whole situation because we don't want to get
Because it
into
is a situation.
chaos. Yeah. And then obviously, you and me at least, well, I at least have played Sword. You need to play Sword, either Sword or Shield, and Joker also needs to play some more Pokemon.
Yeah, well, let's have it this way, there, Electri. If you want to help me fund that, then go for it.
I might, actually.
Let's talk about that.
We'll talk about that afterwards. Speaking of which, because I'm just now thinking about it, you guys should definitely head over to the merch store because merch for each of our different character arts is going to be actually in the merch store soon, as well as a Nerd Chat shirt as well. So look forward to seeing those in the merch store, hopefully by the end of the video. So yeah, look forward to seeing all of those things.
I'd like to point out I'm also going to be starting Frank's storytelling videos, hopefully relatively soonish.
Yep.
Like I said, I am a teacher, and I'm also in college, so it's a bit of a challenge for me to do that, but I do the best I can.
Yep. So yeah, look forward to all of that crazy chaos happening soon.
Yes, we love chaos.
We thrive in chaos.
We just are chaos.
Oh dear.
That's true.
Yes.
But I believe that Joker's symbol will actually be changing before we actually go into the before his logo actually shows up on the shirt. So be aware of that as well. As well as obviously changing in the next Nerd Chat. So yeah, look forward to that. But it's not going to be much of a difference. Just know that there will be a difference.
Only slightly.
Yep. Only very slightly. Speaking of which, I actually did, since I actually created Joker's symbol at least a little bit, I was actually thinking of putting the eyes on each of the little balls on the top of the hat.
That would be cute.
Oh dear.
But right now I'm living for the eyebrows, not gonna lie.
I don't know if they're supposed to be eyebrows. I think I meant for them to be like closed eyes as he's laughing.
I think they're just perfect eyebrows.
That's fair. So about the latest Pokemon games, or the next ones that are coming out, which one are you guys most excited for?
Well, I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen a whole lot of what's gonna come out. I haven't watched the trailers myself.
Okay. But
Me
are you
neither.
more so in that case, are you more excited for complete recreation of the original Diamond and Pearl with maybe some slight changes as well as better graphics, or are you more excited for Pokemon but it's Breath of the frickin' Wild?
Oh, Pokemon Breath of the Wild. Hands down. Breath of the Wild right now is what's keeping me alive. Playing Breath of the Wild has been an eye-opening experience. Well, it is in its own right. So I can only imagine that. Diamond and Pearl were great, but they were great in their own right, and I feel like recreating them is almost unnecessary at this point.
Okay. I think we've lost Joker. Uh-oh. That's not good.
We seem to have lost him, yes.
So we will come back to that when he comes back. Hopefully that's quickly. He's probably just lost a little bit of connection. Don't worry too much about that, guys. But yep. Oh. So what is the oldest Pokemon game that you've actually played, just out of curiosity?
And the oldest Pokemon game that I've played is I have Pokemon Yellow version for my Game Boy Pocket, which is the one that came before the Game Boy Color. It runs on AA batteries.
Oh, Game Boys. What a pain. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we bought that one in 1996. It was great.
uh,
So for those of you listening, that was like in 1996. Let's see, that's 2 years before I was born. And yeah, so that's a solid probably before everybody I think I know was born.
Yeah. I believe, every single one of the Nerdy Birdies is younger than the Game Boys.
Yep.
Except for the advanced, obviously.
One of my greatest excitements in life right now is that I get to bring my GameCube home when I move into my house. So that'll be exciting.
Yay!
The GameCube gets to come home.
That's gonna be fun.
I'm planning on saving up for a new Wii because we had this game that I was obsessed with. That was Disney, and of course it was. That is actually probably one of the best Disney games they've come out with, and they just stopped. It's Disney Universe, and they just stopped coming out with it, and I was so upset.
Oh, freaking Disney Universe. You know, of all of the real toys being brought into the real world, or into the game world games that we had, I think that Lego Dimensions was probably the best, in my opinion.
This one was pre-real toys. So Disney Universe came out a little bit after this one. This one was Disney Universe, but it was, instead of real toys, it was you had a little blue character who was gaining costumes and different fighting tools. It was really cool.
Oh, okay. So that was an earlier one. So, okay, cool.
Yeah. And you would go through different levels. My favorite level was, of course, Alice in Wonderland and Aladdin. And it was very, very nostalgic to the original NES games of Lion King and Aladdin, which also are out on the Switch, and I low-key want to get them.
I keep thinking that you should... I know that you haven't yet, so you need to play the Kingdom Hearts games, because it's literally Disney meets Final Fantasy. And I know you don't care that much about Final Fantasy, but seriously.
I know.
You need to play it. I think that... well, since the demo for the latest game is on the Switch, you should probably play that first, I think. And see what you think of it. I know that it's probably not the game that you're going to want to use, but yeah.
Well, and I only have the Switch, so...
Yeah. And that's really the only place that you're going to be able to play them on until frickin' the thing... I don't know if they're actually going to be on the Switch version of it, but Epic Games thing that they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Their competition with
I
Steam.
hope so.
Yeah. I don't know if that's going to be allowing you to play it on the Switch, because I don't know if Epic Games is going to be going onto the Switch.
Epic Games is already on the Switch with Dauntless and Fortnite.
Oh, okay. So maybe Kingdom Hearts will be going there, because it is. I know for a fact that it's going to the PC, but I don't know if it's actually going to be going to the Switch for that.
That would be amazing. Epic Games has already given wonderful things such as Dauntless and Paladins to the Switch, so I feel like that would just be following right in line.
Nice. We need to play Fortnite again.
Agreed.
That was fun. Basically, for those of you who aren't aware, we played a few games of Fortnite a little while ago, back when frickin' the Marvel thing was going on, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a lot of fun. And we still don't have Joker back. That's not good.
It might be a sign to call this a day and get back together. Reconvene next week.
Well, yeah, that is probably a good idea. But before we actually go, what do you think we should do as our next topic?
Let's discuss the MCU as a whole. Favorite movies, worst movies, and heroes that we wish we would see more of.
Okay. Yeah, so that will be, so I think that will more than likely be our next episode next week. We will be talking about Marvel. But there is a chance that that might get canceled because we will be canceled for a week because we might be getting our first guest. I will be talking to our guest to actually figure out when she will be available to join in for this. But yes, we will be having a new guest before too long. So look forward to meeting our guest, and that one will be about Star Wars. So look forward to that.
I'm excited for that one. I get to bring up my little love of Star Wars Resistance and Kazuda Xiono and Niku. So
also,
animated...
I should probably warn you. As far I don't know if Joker has. I haven't, and I know that our guest hasn't watched Resistance yet. So,
I'll try not to
in
spoil
fact,
things, but let me just
she
tell
hasn't
you
even
3 words.
watched all of Clone Wars. So,
okay, well, 3 words: animated Leia Organa. That's all there is. That's all you need to know.
Well, okay then. That sounds fun. But anyways, guys, like I said, this was basically just an introductory episode. Hopefully you guys have all enjoyed this episode of Nerd Chat and are looking forward to seeing more content coming from us in the future. And like I said, do expect to see some more stuff from Frank the Dopamine Dog / Captain Jack, as well as the Joker, showing up on the channel in the future. But anyways, guys, I have been Electro Ninja. Joker was here, and
I'm Frank the Dopamine Dog, otherwise better known as Jack.
And we will see you guys in the next video. But on!